Christmas Eve. Play in the snow. Put up the tree. Come back till Christmas with me. Hey guys, it's Christmas Eve. It's nighttime now, but I'm just going to show you a vlog of today's events. And I'm going to read you a couple stories tonight because I forgot to do it the last couple days, I think. And I have to open up my last day on the advent calendar. So yay, here we go.
It's your turn. Oh, okay. Christmas Eve.
Christmas Eve.
Oh, that was easy.
That's a big one too. And we have one more for tomorrow.
Okay, it says, oops, I don't have my glasses on. You'll have to read it.
Share stories and save paper. Give the last book you read as a gift. What if I really like it?
Ooh, Jenny, let's see. Coconut.
You can have it. I have a coconut one. Merry Christmas. This is my friend Kara. Merry Chrysler. Merry Chrysler. Merry Chrysler. Just tear it open.
I put it on her.
I love that.
Yeah.
Jenny and I
It's always good.
shared an advent calendar from them, so every day we're so excited to see.
Wait, an advent calendar from...
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I have to see it. Wait.
Look at the socks in there. Are they cute? Show the camera. Dogs.
I don't need these socks anymore.
Guys, I'm about to have a Christmas bath with this green Christmas bath bomb that my friend got me that smells like Christmas tree. And this is from one of my kids, this bath bomb dust, and they both smell like Christmas trees. I'm so excited. I'm going to have a green bath. So here we go. Whoa. Alright guys, today is the 24th. It's actually the 25th already tonight because it's 12 o'clock. But we're going to open our 24th, our day 24, our last one. I really like doing this with you guys, and I'm gonna miss it. But there's always next year. Oh, that's pretty. Kind of matches the color. Ooh, that kind of reminds me of the other one we really like, but a little bit darker. It is in the shade Ripe Berry. Love it. Alright guys, that's our color. Our last one. We did all 24. And that is the end of the advent calendars. Actually, not true. We have one more to do tomorrow. It is the last Body Shop one. And I'll just film a quick clip of that and maybe some other little clips from Christmas. But this is our last vlog, you guys. So Merry Christmas. Now we're going to read some guys. Our last stories for tonight is The Happy Snowman. Sorry, that's not really focusing, but whatever. And also Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. So here we go, our last two stories of the Christmas season. The Happy Snowman. It's snowing. Come look, Matt, cried Jenny. It's coming down so fast I can hardly see across the street. Matt ran to the window and saw that Jenny was right. The snow was beginning to cover everything in sight. He could hardly wait to get outside to play in the snow. He was sure all of their friends would be at the park. Matt and Jenny ran to find their snow boots. I want to come too, said Mariana. She always wanted to go wherever they went. No, said Matt. You're too little to go to the park with us now. Maybe later. Lisa, Tracy, and Paul were already at the park by the time Matt and Jenny got there. Isn't this the greatest? Said Tracy. The snow's so deep. Let's build a snowman, said Paul, a huge snowman as tall as we can make him. They got to work. It wasn't easy. They had to roll one big snowball for the body, another for the chest, and then a smaller one for the head. After that was done, Jenny said, He needs a face and some clothes. So everyone ran home to see what they could find. Lisa found some pieces of coal for the eyes and a button for the nose. Tracy borrowed her big brother's purple scarf, and Paul remembered the corncob pipe he used last Halloween. With a corncob pipe and a button nose. Matt and Jenny found an old pair of boots in their closet. Then they saw Mariana playing with the best thing of all. She had helped Mother clean out the attic and found a black silk top hat. Perfect for their snowman. Mariana, you can bring the hat for our snowman, said Jenny, and help us dress him. Back at the park, Lisa put the button nose and coal eyes on the snowman's face. Tracy wrapped the purple scarf around his neck, and Paul stuck the corncob pipe in his mouth. Everyone clapped and cheered as Paul helped Jenny put the top hat on the snowman's head. What shall we name him? Said Tracy. How about Frosty? Suggested Jenny. Yes, they all cried. So Frosty it was. Happy birthday! Sorry guys, I'm being extra goofy tonight. It's late. And I just figure I should just be goofy. If I want to. The children began to dance in a circle around Frosty. Then little Mariana said, I wish Frosty were alive so he could play with us. Just then Matt looked up at Frosty's face. Oh my, he cried. Frosty just winked at me. They all looked just in time to see Frosty smile. He really was alive. Hooray, they cheered. Then they gave the snowman a big, big hug. Frosty began to laugh. Hey, I'm ticklish, she protested. Let's go. Let go, I mean. They all laughed, and Frosty began to do a little dance. The children stepped in line behind him. Suddenly there was a grand parade going all around the park, with Frosty leading the way. After they had paraded around the park, Frosty said, Gee, this is fun. What else can we do? Let's go sledding, said Paul. They pulled their sleds to the top of the hill and got ready to have a race. Oh no, said Matt. What are we going to do? Frosty is too big to fit on any of our sleds. Don't worry about that, laughed Frosty. Remember, I'm made of snow. All I have to do is lie down and slide. Watch. Frosty was just right. He could slide as fast as the fastest sled just by lying on his back. What a race they all had. That night, Jenny, Matt, and Mariana could hardly wait to tell their parents about Frosty. A snowman who talks, dances, and sleds? Asked their father. Well, I'm afraid that's something I'd have to see to believe. But Frosty's a very special snowman, said Matt, and tomorrow we want to take him ice skating. May we borrow your skates? Sure, said their father. Since he's made of snow, I guess he wouldn't get hurt if he takes a spill or two. Early the next morning, the children ran to find Frosty. Wait until you try ice skating, said Lisa. It's even more fun than sledding. When Frosty saw all the skaters on the pond, he said, I don't know, that looks kind of tricky. Frosty bravely put on his skates and started off slowly. Hey, this isn't so hard, he called. You were right, this is fun. He learned to skate in a figure 8 and even to lift one foot high in the air as he skated. Whee! He cried, tipping his top hat as he whizzed by. After a while, the children began to get cold. Come on, Frosty, said Tracy. Let's go into the warming house and warm up. My hands are freezing. They stepped into the little warming hut. Their hands and feet began to warm up, but they had forgotten something very important. Frosty was made of snow. Whew, this place doesn't feel so good to me, he said. I'll wait outside. Frosty waited for his friends outside. As he watched the other skaters, he noticed one little boy who was skating very near a sign that said, Danger, Thin Ice. Hey, watch out, called Frosty, but the little boy didn't hear. He was skating right toward the thin ice. Quick as a wink, Frosty darted out onto the ice after the little boy. Just as the ice started to crack, Frosty caught him by the hand and pulled the boy back to safety. Frosty was a hero. Everyone cheered. Weren't you scared? Asked Jenny. What if you had fallen through the ice? Frosty smiled and said, You forgot. I'm made of snow. A little cold doesn't bother me. The next morning, Jenny looked out on the window. Oh no, she said. It's raining. What will happen to Frosty? Matt said he thought maybe the rain would stop soon. But the rain did not stop. It rained all that day. The children watched and worried about their friend Frosty. Finally, the next morning, the rain stopped and the sun finally came out. Let's go to the park to see how Frosty is, said Matt. Come with us, Dad. When they got to the park, they looked all around. They didn't see Frosty anywhere. Finally, Jenny called out, Look over there. I see Frosty's hat by the tree. But there was only a little lump of snow next to the hat. Frosty was gone. They all stood looking at the hat and the little pile of snow. Mariana picked up the hat sadly. Then their father smiled. Look, he said, under Frosty's hat. He left you a sign that he'll be back next year. And sure enough, there it was. A tiny little flower, just the color of Frosty's purple scarf, had pushed up through the snow. It almost seemed to smile and say, See you next year. All right, our last story, guys. It's Rudolph's Adventure. It was Christmas Eve in Reindeerland, just like it is here. All the little reindeer were excited because Santa Claus would visit that night. A blanket of new snow covered the ground. The young reindeer were skating and sledding and building snowmen. What fun to play in the winter snow. Fun for all, that is, except for one little reindeer. Look at funny Rudolph, the others cried. His nose is bigger and redder than a tomato, and look how it shines. I brought my sled to play too, said Rudolph. Well, you can't play with us, laughed the reindeer. Poor Rudolph. Pulling his sled, he walked sadly away. One shiny tear slid down his cheek. Maybe I could cover up my nose, Rudolph said to himself. I could put dirt on it. That way at least it wouldn't glow. He rubbed some dirt on his nose, but that didn't really help. Rudolph's nose would always be big and red and shiny. That night, Rudolph climbed into bed. He looked outside and saw a great fog covering the houses and trees. He couldn't even see the moon or stars. Oh dear, he sighed. I hope Santa will be able to see in this fog. I want him to be sure to find my house. Rudolph knew that he had been a good little reindeer. At the same time, far up north, Santa was busy packing his sleigh full of toys. He had to get ready for his big trip. I'm worried about all this fog, he mumbled. I'm afraid it'll be too foggy to see. I have to fly slowly or I won't bump into anything. Then he called his reindeer. Come on, Dasher and Dancer and Prancer and Vixen. Let's get hitched up, Comet and Cupid and Donner and Blitzen. Off they flew, up and away. At first they made good progress. The street lamps and house lights kept them on course, and Santa worked quickly, being sure to leave the right presents for each little girl and boy. By midnight, though, it was very dark. There were no stars to guide the sleigh, and the fog was thick. Santa was getting worried. Just then, the sleigh arrived at Rudolph's house. It was so dark Santa couldn't see a thing. After almost falling down the chimney, Santa tried to find his way around the room. He tripped right over a chair. He made it to the first bedroom, checking to make sure if he left the right toys. This was taking longer than he thought it would. What if he didn't make it to all the houses before morning? What if all the people started to wake up before he had finished his work? Now Santa was very worried. He opened the door to the next bedroom, and what do you suppose he saw? His room was not dark at all. There was a glowing red light all over the room. Santa could see everything as clear as day. It wasn't a lamp that lighted the room. It wasn't the moon or the stars making it glow. No, it was Rudolph's red nose. Santa's job in this room was easy. He could see exactly which gift to leave for the little reindeer. He was happy when he went out the door. But the rest of the house was dark as ever. Then suddenly Santa had a great idea. He went back to Rudolph's room and woke the little reindeer out of a sound sleep. Rudolph couldn't believe his eyes. There, right next to his very own bed, was Santa. "Rudolph, you can save the day," said Santa. "The fog and the darkness are slowing me down. I might not make it to every house before morning." "But what can I do?" asked Rudolph. Santa said, "I need you to guide us through this fog. Your shiny nose will light the way." That was all Rudolph needed. Of course he would help, wouldn't you? Quick as a wink, Rudolph wrote a note to his family. It said, "I've gone to help Santa. Don't worry, I'll be back by morning. Love, Rudolph." Santa dashed away to bring his sleigh down to the lawn so Rudolph could join his reindeer team. Rudolph pranced out of the house, his red nose glowing. Santa said, "Rudolph, I'd like you to meet Dasher, Dancer, Prancer, and Vixen, Comet, Cupid, Donner, and Blitzen." Santa's reindeer smiled and nodded, but they could not believe their eyes. Who had ever seen a reindeer with such a big, shiny red nose? Santa hitched Rudolph to the front of his team and gave his reins a silvery jingle. Up, up, up they flew. Even with the fog, they could now fly quickly. Rudolph's nose made the whole world light up. Not once did they lose their way. Their work went so fast that Santa was able to finish filling the last stocking just as the sun peeped over the horizon. The morning sun also woke the reindeer at Rudolph's house. Papa Reindeer was up first, and he found Rudolph's note. "What's this?" he said. "Our Rudolph has got to help Santa Claus? Who would ever have thought such a thing?" "Our Rudolph," said Mama Reindeer. Word quickly spread around the town. The reindeer gathered outside Rudolph's house to wait for his return. "You mean Rudolph with funny red nose is helping Santa Claus?" they asked. This was hard to believe. That quiet, lonely reindeer, was he really the hero of Christmas? Everyone knows that riding with Santa is the greatest honor a reindeer can have. Just then, the sleigh and its reindeer came down into view. Down they flew with Rudolph leading the way. What a cheer there was! All those reindeer who had teased Rudolph and had made fun of him now waved and cheered as Santa's sleigh landed. When the sleigh pulled to a stop, Santa said, "Rudolph, I have never had a reindeer as brave as you. You went through the thickest fog and guided my sleigh. I would have been lost without you." Then the crowd shouted, "Hooray for Rudolph! Hooray for Rudolph! Speech, speech!" But Rudolph, though a hero, was bashful. He was so embarrassed that his nose glowed brighter than ever. If you are very quiet on a foggy Christmas night, you may see a sleigh led by a glowing red light. You'll know for sure it's Santa if on the roof you hear the quiet pitter-patter of his 9 reindeer. All right, let's hope we can hear that tonight, guys, because this is our last day, and tomorrow is Christmas, so listen for your little reindeer. Good night, guys. Merry Christmas.